June 25th, 1994. 2 p.m. Days Inn Motel, Monterey Park, California. 12 Mexican Mafia members gather in room 237. They don't know the FBI is watching. Audio recording, video recording, every word captured. José Bat Marquez stands at the center. Del Sol gang, Mexican Mafia enforcer. He's pitching a deal, $2 million. Any Mexican state they want. Heavy artillery, unlimited drugs, all to kill one man, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. The Arellano Felix brothers are offering the bounty. Bat's already working for them. He survived the Christine nightclub massacre. 40 assassins dressed as federales, 8 dead. Bat lived. Now he wants his brothers in. Chapo doesn't drink, doesn't use drugs, takes care of his family. 40-man security force, armored vehicle. Bat knows it won't be easy, but he has a plan. 5 drums of ephedrine every week from Mexico, build a meth empire, fund the war. What he doesn't know, this meeting will destroy everything. 10 months later, April 29th, 1995, 22 Mexican Mafia members arrested, federal RICO charges, the alliance exposed, but Bat got lucky, arrested 6 months earlier on different charges, missed the takedown. He'd be back on the streets by 1997, back in Tijuana, back killing. This is how a San Diego street kid became the bridge between America's most feared prison gang and Mexico's deadliest cartel. This is how he kept running operations from inside the most secure prison in America. This is how a jail cell became a kingdom. The man who recruited Popeye Barron, the man who survived when legends died, the man who never stopped. José Bat Marquez, the game remembers. San Diego, Del Sol Barrio, 1970s. José Marquez grew up on the U.S. side of the border. Mexican-American kid, street life, gang life. By his early teens, he was Del Sol, blue and white, Sureño, soldiers for the Mexican Mafia. They called him Bat. By 19, his rap sheet read like a resume. Grand theft auto, burglary, resisting arrest, battery on a police officer, 20 years old, drug sales conviction, 7-year sentence. Bat served less than 2, released. 1985, 3 months on the streets, then burglary. Back inside, 6 more years. This time, San Quentin, California's oldest prison, where Mexican Mafia rules. A Norteño inmate disrespected him. Bat grabbed a shovel, assault, blood on concrete. Prison officials moved him. Thought separation would help. It didn't. Weapon possession. Caught twice. Same year. Bat wasn't hiding it. The Mexican Mafia noticed. Young, violent, loyal to Sureños, willing to do time without complaint. Perfect recruit. June 1987. Paroled. 6 years inside. 26 years old. Connected now. 1988. Met Roy Boy Rivas, another San Diego gang member, another Sureño, another future killer. They started moving product, street level, building networks, building reputations. But Bat got sloppy. 1989, caught with methamphetamine, possession for sale, 5-year sentence. Most criminals would see this as failure. 3 convictions before 30, more time inside than out. Bat saw it as education because prison wasn't punishment anymore. Prison was power. Inside, he wasn't just another convict. He was Mexican Mafia, La M, the Black Hand. And La M didn't just survive in prison, they ruled it. By 1991, Bat wasn't just a member. He was calling shots, making decisions, ordering hits from behind bars. The system thought they were containing him. They were cultivating him, training him, connecting him to every major player in California's prison system. Bat learned something most gangsters never understand. You don't need to be on the streets to run the streets. You just need the right connections, the right reputation, the right fear, and Bat had all 3. March 1991, still locked up, Bat made a decision. A man in San Diego needed to die. Christopher Garcia, Roy Boy Rivas got the call. So did Ken Boogaloo Flores. Garcia went down. Clean hit. No witnesses. Bat orchestrated it from a prison cell. The reward, Roy Boy got made. October 1991, Donovan State Prison. 3 sponsors, Bat Marquez, Black Dan Barella, Gato Marquez, blood in, blood out, for life. November, both transferred. Pelican Bay State Prison, the SHU Security Housing Unit, California Supermax, 23-hour lockdown, the worst of the worst. Bat was home. Pelican Bay, 1991, the most secure prison in California. Bat Marquez was exactly where he wanted to be. The SHU Security Housing Unit, 23-hour lockdown, concrete cells, steel doors, no windows, no contact, no mercy. This is where Mexican Mafia leadership lived, where shot callers ran empires, where orders went out and bodies dropped. Bat fit right in. But this wasn't his first rodeo. 1980, 11 years earlier, first felony drug conviction, California Health and Safety Code, Section 11352, selling heroin. Bat had been in the game longer than most people knew, building credibility, building connections, building a body count. That's how La M works. You don't need freedom, you need fear. Roy Boy had already proven himself with the Christopher Garcia hit. Now he was a made member. Blood oath, for life. The only way out is death. November, both men transferred to Pelican Bay, together, brothers now, carnales. Inside the SHU, they ran operations, taxing street gangs, moving drugs, ordering hits, all through coded messages, visitors, corrupt guards. The system had holes. La M found every one. April 1992, Roy Boy paroled, free, back on the streets, back in San Diego, immediately contacted by another Logan Heights gang member. Short, stocky, violent, David Barron Corona, street name, Popeye. Popeye had killed a man over a parking spot at 16. Done time, got out, got connected. He gave Roy Boy $5,000 cash, plus a sack of meth. Test run. Could Roy Boy move product? He could. Popeye was impressed. Roy Boy reported back to Bat. Inside Pelican Bay, Bat made a decision. Late 1992, the sponsorship, Bat Marquez and Roy Boy Rivas, brought Popeye Barron into the Mexican Mafia. Let that sink in. Bat recruited Popeye, not the other way around. History remembers Popeye, the enforcer who saved the Arellano brothers at Christine nightclub, the recruiter who built American death squads for the Tijuana Cartel, the legend who died in a hail of bullets. But Bat created him. Bat saw potential, saw violence, saw loyalty, saw someone who could bridge Mexican Mafia and Mexican cartels. Popeye would become famous, chief enforcer for the Arellanos, survived 40 assassins, built an army, but it started with Bat. From a prison cell in Pelican Bay, Bat was building something bigger than anyone realized, connecting California prison gangs to Tijuana cartels, creating a model that would change the drug war forever. American gang members as cartel enforcers, trained, disciplined, expendable. 1994, Bat paroled again, free, connected, dangerous. He had Mexican Mafia behind him, soldiers on the streets, relationships with the Arellano Felix brothers. Time to make his move. The FBI was about to watch him make the biggest mistake of his life. June 25th, 1994, Saturday afternoon, Days Inn Motel, Monterey Park, California, room 237, 12 Mexican Mafia members, business meeting. They didn't know the walls had ears. LA Metropolitan Violent Gang Task Force, FBI led, plus LA County Sheriff's Prison Gang Unit, Sergeant Richard Valdemar's team, electronic surveillance, audio recording, video recording, every word, every face, every crime discussed. Bat Marquez walked in confident. He had news from Tijuana. First topic, Edward James Olmos, the actor, director of American Me, the 1992 film about Mexican Mafia's origins. La M.A. wasn't happy. The movie showed things that shouldn't be shown: disrespect, weakness, a prison scene that offended the founders. Extortion was discussed: make Olmos pay, make Hollywood understand. 3 consultants on that film would later be murdered: 2 Mexican Mafia members, 1 civilian advisor, but Olmos wasn't the main event. Bat had bigger business. November 8, 1992, Puerto Vallarta, Christine nightclub, Benjamin Arellano Felix 40th birthday party. El Chapo Guzman sent 40 sicarios dressed as federales, federal police. The St. Valentine's Day massacre, Mexican style, submachine guns, full auto, 8 Tijuana cartel members dead, dozens wounded. Popeye Barron saved the Arellano brothers that night, dragged them through a bathroom window onto the roof, climbed down a tree, flagged a taxi, came back with grenades. The Arellanos never forgot. Now, 19 months later, they wanted revenge. Bat laid out the offer: $2 million bounty, any Mexican state the killer wanted to control. Heavy artillery, unlimited drugs. Target: Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, head of the Sinaloa cartel. Bat warned them, won't be easy. Chapo's disciplined, doesn't drink, doesn't use drugs, takes care of his family, takes care of his soldiers. 40-man security force, armored 4-wheel drive vehicle, but the money was real. The Arellanos was serious. Then Bat pitched his plan: ephedrine, 5 drums a week, from Mexico. The Arellanos had barrels of it, just sitting there, south of the border. Bat wanted to start a chemical supply store, store the precursors on the Mexican side. Any La M.A. brother could take what they needed for production, future payment after distribution. The room agreed. Days later, several Mexican Mafia members drove to Tijuana, crossed the border, met with Arellano people. They came back with ephedrine, with meth, with connections. The alliance was sealed: Mexican Mafia and Tijuana cartel, prison gang and drug empire, American muscle for Mexican money. But the FBI had everything on tape. December 1994, 6 months after the meeting, Bat arrested: San Isidro, just south of San Diego, auto theft, gun possession, felon with a firearm. April 1995, sentenced 32 months, same month. April 29th, the hammer dropped. 22 Mexican Mafia members arrested. Federal RICO charges, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, the Days End surveillance, the wiretaps, the videos, all presented in court. 9 members pleaded guilty. 13 went to trial. 12 convicted. 1 acquitted. The biggest Mexican Mafia takedown in history. But Bat missed it, already locked up on different charges. Lucky timing or calculated move. Either way, he wasn't done. 32 months, less than 3 years. He'd be out by 1997. And when he got out, he wasn't going back to San Diego. He was going to Tijuana to join Popeye Barron, to work directly for the Arellanos, to become a cartel enforcer. The FBI had his voice on tape, discussing murder, discussing drugs, discussing the Cardinal Posada's assassination, but they couldn't prove he pulled triggers, couldn't connect him to specific bodies. Bat was careful, always had been, and he was about to disappear across the border, where American law couldn't touch him, where the real killing would begin. 1996, Bat was back inside, doing his 32 months. But prison didn't stop him, never did. He had a problem: Roy Boy Rivas, his partner, the man he sponsored into Mexican Mafia, falling out of favor. Bat and Ruben Droopy Davis made the call. Green light. Roy Boy had to die. So did Donald Littleman Ortiz. But they found out. Both dropped out. Debriefed. Pelican Bay protective custody. Snitches. Still breathing. June 1997. Bat paroled. Law enforcement assembled a surveillance team. Follow him. Build a new case. They watched him drive towards San Diego. Then he ran, literally sprinted across the border, into Tijuana, into Mexico. U.S. authorities couldn't follow. Bat joined Popeye Barron. Both work for the Arellanos now. Enforcers, killers for hire. November 15th, 1997. Tijuana, federal courthouse. Two Mexican federal judicial police officers walking outside, never made it to their cars. Gunfire, execution style, both dead. Bat was there. Popeye was there. November 21st, Zeta magazine published the story, named the killers, CH and Bat. Jesus Blancornelas, 61 years old. Editor, the man who wouldn't be silenced. He just signed his death warrant. 6 days later, November 27th, Thanksgiving Day, Blancornelas in his red Ford Explorer, bodyguard Luis Valero driving, headed to work. 10 gunmen stepped from the shadows, AK-47s, submachine guns, sustained automatic gunfire. Valero reacted instantly, shielded Blancornelas, returned fire, dropped one attacker. He took multiple rounds, still fighting, still protecting. Luis Valero died on Thanksgiving, doing his job, leaving behind a family, a wife, children who lost their father because he stood between evil and an honest man. Blancornelas took 4 rounds, critically wounded, slumped, bleeding, alive. Then physics intervened. A bullet hit pavement, ricocheted, changed trajectory, struck David Popeye Barron above the eye, killed him instantly. Friendly fire, his own man's bullet. The crew panicked, fled. Bat wasn't there, but he felt it. His protege, his creation, dead at 34. Blancornelas survived 20 days in hospital. He'd live another 9 years. Those embedded rounds contributed to the stomach cancer that killed him in 2006. But he outlived Popeye, kept publishing, kept exposing. Bat kept working, different now, reckless. The problem, methamphetamine, heavy user, couldn't stay disciplined like Popeye. The Arellanos noticed, not reliable, wanted on both sides of the border, useful but not essential. 1998, Mexican Mafia sent Richard Cheeks Buchanan to Tijuana. Watch Bat, keep him in line. Bat's crew grew. Taz, Clyde, Milo, Lonely, Night Owl, Crow, Logan Heights soldiers, American killers in Mexico. August 1998, Puerto Nuevo. Bat arrested. The charge, theft of a flower pot. Absurd, wanted for 20 murders. Arrested for stealing flowers. November, indicted. Murder, attempted murder. Real charges now. 1999, released. Money talked in Mexico. Tecate, Abel, Sonny, Chavez, and his girlfriend. Murdered. Bat suspected. By now, not working directly for Arellanos. Gustavo Rivera, mid-level operator. Fall from grace, but still operating, still killing. October 1999. Bat held a meeting in Logan Heights, San Diego. U.S. soil. Wanted fugitive. Didn't care. Untouchable. Or so he thought. May 2002. U.S. indictment. Bat Marquez and Gustavo Rivera. November 2003. Mexican police arrested Bat. 20 killings. Minimum. Mexican authorities even suspected him in the Cardinal Posadas assassination. The extradition fight began. Years of legal battles. Bat sat in Mexican custody, waiting. He didn't know. The worst was yet to come. November 2003. Mexican federal police arrested Bat. 20 killings. Minimum. Mexican authorities even suspected him in the Cardinal Juan Jesus Posadas Ocampo assassination. 1993, Guadalajara Airport, 14 bullets at close range. The second highest Catholic official in Mexico, murdered by American gang members working for a Mexican cartel. Bat sat in Mexican custody. Years passed, diplomatic battles, extradition treaties, legal warfare. January 20th, 2007, historic day. 15 major traffickers extradited to the United States at once, including Ociel Cardenas Guillen, Gulf Cartel leader, one of Mexico's most wanted, and José Alberto Bat Marquez, Mexican Mafia enforcer, Arellano Felix Sicario. U.S. Marshals took custody, federal charges waiting. Conspiracies to import and distribute marijuana and cocaine. Department of Justice description: enforcer, bodyguard, caretaker of drug stash houses. Most criminals would stay quiet, wait for trial, hope for deals, not bat. April 17, 2007, 3 months after extradition, still in jail, awaiting trial. He made a call, jail telephone, recorded line, contacted Maria Madriaga, Julia Morones, Mexican Mafia associates, outside the walls, orchestrated a methamphetamine transaction from his cell, 6 ounces. Morones picked up from Madriaga's home, delivered to a confidential informant. The informant's apartment was wired, audio, video, everything recorded. Bat's voice on tape, giving orders, directing moves, running operations. Even locked up, people followed his commands. Why? Mexican Mafia's reputation, violence, brutality, disobey and die. March 8th through 11th, 2011, 4-day trial. Criminal case 08-CR-2019, Southern District of California. Judge M. James Lorenz presiding. The evidence was overwhelming. Video recording of the drug transaction played for the jury. Recorded phone calls from jail. Bat's voice, clear, undeniable. Chemist testified. Over 50 grams of actual methamphetamine. Not cut, not diluted, pure. Expert testimony on Mexican Mafia. Structure, operations, control. March 11th, 2011. Jury deliberated. Hours, not days. Guilty. Both counts. Conspiracy to distribute 50+ grams methamphetamine, aiding and abetting possession with intent to distribute. But the government had more. 2 prior drug trafficking felonies. 1980, selling heroin. 1989, possession of methamphetamine for sale. 3 strikes rule. Mandatory life sentence. No parole, no release. November 4th, 2011, sentencing day. Judge Lorenz spoke. Life in federal prison, concurrent sentences, both counts. Bat showed no emotion. Destination, ADX Florence, Colorado, Supermax, the Alcatraz of the Rockies, where terrorists live, cartel bosses, the worst of the worst. Security housing unit, 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour outside, alone, concrete and steel. Most men would break. Bat adapted. July 11th, 2014, 9th Circuit Court of Appeals, case 11-50479, appeal denied, conviction affirmed, Supreme Court, certiorari denied, no legal options left, but Bat wasn't done. ADX Florence housed other Mexican Mafia members. The SU kept them separated, but not isolated. Communication was possible, always had been. Prison phones, smuggled cell phones, mail, email, messages through visitors, corrupt guards. The system had holes. La M.A. found everyone. Sergeant Richard Valdemar, retired L.A. County Sheriff, 33 years combating gangs, expert witness in multiple Mexican Mafia trials. His assessment in 2011, his confinement in the SAU with his Mexican Mafia brothers, ensures that Bat Marquez will continue to be involved with drug running and murder. Only death can stop the Bat's bloodlust. He was right. Between 2014 and 2017, Bat kept operating. From Supermax, running crews, ordering hits, moving drugs, collecting taxes. The FBI was watching, building another case, 3-year investigation, thousands of recorded conversations, written communications, prison phones, smuggled cell phones, mail, email. Operation Emero was coming, and Bat was at the center. 2014, ADX Florence Supermax. Bat's been locked up 3 years since his life sentence. The FBI started watching again. Operation Emero, 3-year investigation. San Diego District Attorney Summer Stephan, FBI Safe Streets Task Force, Sheriff's Department, California Department of Corrections. They monitored everything. Prison phones, smuggled cell phones, mail, email, thousands of recorded conversations, written communications, all captured. 2 principal leaders identified: José Bat Marquez, federal prisoner, and Ronaldo Ayala, California death row inmate since 1989, both running operations from behind bars, both untouchable, both unstoppable. The 40-page complaint detailed Bat's orders, specific, direct, brutal, directed a female defendant to violently enforce a drug debt against an inmate, ordered physical intimidation of another woman to collect money owed, multiple communications, ordering murders, assaults, extortions, drug trafficking, all from the most secure prison in America. July 13th, 2017. The hammer dropped. 10 arrests, 19 total defendants charged, 12 men, 7 women. John Benavides, 28, Melissa Calingay, 30, Arturo Castillo, 37, Jenny De La Osa, 35, Patrick Germany, 32, Elias Gadea, 51, 25 felony counts, conspiracy to commit torture, conspiracy to commit assault causing great bodily injury, extortion, possession of drugs for sale, conspiracy to commit arson, possession of assault weapon, prison searches, 39 cells, 23 contraband cell phones seized, 2 SIM cards, methamphetamine, heroin, documents detailing Mexican Mafia business, outside locations, $51,000 cash, 6 firearms, including an AK-47. District Attorney Summer Stephan. This gang is extremely gruesome and calculated in their violence to inspire fear and intimidation. Neither Bat nor Ayala were charged, already serving life and death sentences. Can't add time to forever. But the message was clear. 6 years after his life sentence, Bat was still running the game. July 24, 2017, Superior Court, San Diego, Department 11, 2 p.m., 19 defendants arraigned. The cycle continues. Today, José Bat Marquez remains in ADX Florence Supermax, SHU, 23-hour lockdown, approximately 65 years old, 40-plus years as a criminal. 1980 heroin conviction to 2017 Operation Emero, Roy Boy Rivas, dropped out, cooperated, disappeared into witness protection. David Popeye Barron, dead. 1997, friendly fire, ricochet bullet on Thanksgiving. The Arellano Felix brothers, all dead or imprisoned. Ramon killed in shootout. Benjamin federal prison. Javier life sentence. Eduardo arrested. Francisco Javier captured. Tijuana cartel destroyed by the 2010s. Sinaloa took over, but Bat's model survived. American gang members as cartel enforcers. Prison gangs running street operations. Operating from behind bars. Mexican Mafia still uses it. Still recruits. Still kills. Sergeant Richard Valdemar's assessment stands. Only death can stop Bat. Never prosecuted for at least 20 murders in Tijuana. Never charged with conspiracy in Cardinal Posadas assassination. Never held accountable for the bodies he ordered. Valdemar's opinion, should have been prosecuted for numerous murders and conspiracies to murder. A proper sentence would have been death. But death hasn't come. Bat will die in ADX Florence, in the SHU, with his Mexican Mafia brothers, still giving orders, still running operations, still feared. The man who recruited Popeye, the man who survived when legends died, the man who turned a prison cell into a command center, José Bat Marquez, 40 years, still unbroken. The game remembers.